Hello, thank you so much for tuning in today. If you haven't already, please subscribe to my channel, Casey Relane. And if you hit the little bell button, it will notify you every time I post a new video so you can stay up to date on the latest information in health and fasting and wellness and a little bit about what's going on with me. So today I wanted to discuss 5 questions that we should all be asking ourselves before we ever take a bite of food. So the first question is, you might want to write these down. Am I thirsty? So 62% of the time, we mistakenly think that we're hungry when in fact our body just needs some liquid. And water and several other things, black coffee, tea, sparkling water, they do not break a fast. So you can go ahead and consume something with liquid and restore your body, especially water, and you're able to have that feeling of hunger completely leave without having to consume the calories and then regret it. So just a 1 to 2% drop in your body weight of water actually causes dehydration. And when you're dehydrated, it causes lots of nasty symptoms, from headaches to memory issues to like a little bit of frustration and just kind of irritability. Fatigue, especially fatigue in the early afternoon, is very heavily attributed to that. Even low back pain. And how many of you throughout your day start having low back pain and maybe you're thinking, well, it's because I've been at work and because I've been sitting or because I've been standing. It might be because you need to drink some water. So a lot of times people ask me, well, how do I even know how much water I should be consuming? And there's a really easy little formula to figure that out. So what you want to do is you want to take your body weight, the total weight, divide that in half. And that amount in ounces is actually what you need to stay hydrated. So for me, I'm 120 pounds, cut that in half, that'd be 60 ounces. So in order for me to not become dehydrated, I have to consume at least 60 ounces of water every day. Now, a couple of things to note. When you have things that are caffeinated, like tea or black coffee, it has caffeine in it. So that caffeine is a diuretic, and that's going to actually steal a little bit more than even the water that's in it for your body to digest it. So you cannot count those drinks towards your total liquid. I could not count that towards my 60 ounces. In fact, I should add a little bit extra because I'm having those. So if I have 1 cup of coffee, I need at least 4 extra ounces of water on top of my 60 to help my body stay hydrated, since it's a diuretic. The other thing to know is that when you're exercising, obviously we're gonna sweat, and so we're gonna be losing some liquid that way. So for every 30 minutes of exercise, you want to add 8 more ounces of water to your total. So for me, if it was an exercise day and I just went for a half an hour, it'd be 68 ounces plus my coffee, so that'd be 72. Okay, pretty easy. So the next question to ask yourself, and this is a big one because I think a lot of people tend to do one or the other. Am I wanting to eat because I am bored or stressed? Now, for adults, often you'll see the stress as the driver for them wanting to eat, whether it be your work or a busy schedule and you have, time restrictions and you have to be at certain places at certain times and you feel like, well, this is my lunch hour, so therefore I must eat. Or this is the only time I'm going to have before 2 o'clock today, so I have to eat. Don't I need fuel? No. And that's the beautiful thing, is when you incorporate fasting into your life, you actually will have a lot more time and you're going to be less stressed because you're not constantly thinking about, oh my gosh, I got to get my food ready. I got to do this. As long as you try to get yourself 1 meal a day, you will be golden. You don't need anything more than that. Especially if you're overweight. You definitely don't need more than that. So another thing to do is to consider, what's maybe causing my stress aside from maybe work and whatnot. Am I doing anything to eliminate the stress? Am I doing anything like an exercise or yoga or walking, even just sitting and deep breathing? So often we shallow breathe. We just breathe only like the top portion of our lungs, and we don't actually get a nice full breath that actually raises our chest and fills our lungs, because that actually helps to reduce stress. So obviously the flip side of it is, am I eating because I'm bored? Now you see this a ton of times in children. They're just kind of, they don't have anything to do, so they're like, oh, I'm hungry. Well, they're not hungry. They're bored. So it's important to give yourself things to do, go for a bike ride, go read a book, do something. There's lots to do, and I really recommend, especially as you start this health journey, it's a fantastic idea to buy yourself a new journal And when you're not eating and you're having that like mental struggle, I want to eat, go journal. Go talk in your journal about how you're feeling, what's going on, and kind of get anything off your chest that you need to. And you'll see as you're going, especially if you start adding, when you do eat and you journal the foods you're eating, you're going to start seeing what's agreeing with you and what your body says, I don't want or need this anymore. So it's a great thing to do. And also, you know, if we're in this pattern of kind of, you know, this stress or boredom, we got to refocus our purpose. Maybe we need to sit down and think about, what's my goal for this week, or what's my goal for this month or my year? And another great thing to put in your journal. Third question you want to ask yourself is this meal necessary, or am I eating out of habit or programming? So with any habit, it takes 30 days. And most of us, almost all of us, I should say, have had a habit of eating multiple meals a day, if not also snacks. And when we do that, we don't realize we're kind of setting alarms in our body to tell us, hey, this is the time we eat. So let's say I typically ate breakfast at 7, and then I usually had a snack at 10, and then I ate lunch at 1. Every day at those times, it's as if an alarm goes off in my body and it raises that ghrelin hormone, and I start getting those hunger pains, and my body's going, you should eat. You need to go eat. You know where the kitchen is, go eat. And we think that that's true hunger, but true hunger actually does not come for 72 hours after we have not had a bite to eat. And I don't think most of us have even experienced that kind of a fast to know what true hunger feels like. So it's important that we really assess, am I doing this right now because this is just what I've programmed my body to think is the right time to eat? And if so, don't cave. So the fourth question you want to ask is, am I eating because other people are? So this goes back to the peer pressure thing, or just the following mentality. I mean, think about when somebody yawns, what do? We yawn. I've been laughing because in the city I live in, there's been a lot of construction, and they've put these steel plates down all over the road. And I've noticed this now probably 10 times. When one car swerves to miss a plate, every single car behind follows suit. When one car runs right over the top of the plate, all the cars behind just follow suit right over the top of the plate. And so it just goes to show we are very programmed to kind of follow what we see others doing. And so we don't want to just choose to eat because, well, everybody else is, or my friends are, or my family is, if our body's not hungry and not needing that fuel, because then we're either going to be adding unneeded weight, or we're just raising our inflammation for no reason, and our body's like, hey, I'm gonna shove this over to fat stores because you don't even need this food right now, and you're just eating out of peer pressure. So the last question we want to talk about, and I love this one because it's one that so many people don't discuss, and it is, this food I'm about to eat going to fuel my health or fuel disease? Because whether we want to believe it or not, every single thing that we choose to put in our body is either going to build up our health or it's going to tear it down. And so we want to try to eat whole foods, nothing processed. Processed foods might sound fun, they might be quick and convenient, but guys, if you're only eating 1 or maybe 2 meals in a day, max, you're not going to need to be buying all of this processed crap. It doesn't take a long time to make food when you're only making a meal. And you can also afford to buy quality food for that meal because you didn't spend all of this money previously on an energy drink and on all of these vices that we've been clinging to just to help us get through our day. When in reality, we probably just need to be drinking more water, getting better sleep, and when we do eat, eating quality whole foods that are not GMO, that are not processed, that are organic, that are farmed correctly. So when we eat proper foods, it actually, like foods that contain antioxidants, they actually create and neutralize right around our cells this little like bubble that protects our DNA and our cells from from oxidative stress, which is these free radicals that get shot off like little BBs, and they just destroy our DNA and our cells and start causing aging and symptoms and disease. And we want to avoid that at all costs. So just realize when you're choosing healthier food, you are investing in yourself and in your health. And it's important because we only have one body, and if we don't take good care of it, it's going to start malfunctioning. And a lot of times we scratch our heads and think, well, why am I having these things happen when we're eating all of these food-like products? We're not actually eating real food. Because if it comes in a box or a can or a package, it's more than likely so far removed from its actual natural state that it's not going to give you much of any nutrition. So before you eat, make sure that you're asking yourself those 5 questions and seeing what is really going on. Am I actually hungry? Do I need this food? Am I doing it just because others are? You know, what's this driver? What's driving me to want to eat right now? And I bet you'll make a lot better choices and be a lot healthier for it. If you have any other questions, go ahead and put them in the comments down below and I'll be happy to answer them. Have an awesome day, you guys. Thanks.